Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Real quick, going to knock out this little funny business. Nothing on this channel is financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only without any express or implied warranty of any kind. So please feel free to read this, pause the stream, go through, take a look. So that way you are aware and fully conscious of the fact that this is not financial advice. It's all education purposes only. Awesome. Got that out of the way. Next, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Please come in, say hello, grab you some popcorn, maybe a notebook, whatever you got to do. I'm going to start off with something that I'm kind of proud of. For those of you who know, I joke around about not being exactly a tech junkie. I'm still pretty young, but I'm still not really that good with tech stuff. But I have somehow taught myself how to use Excel. So I built a trade journal, and I'm still working on it. Aesthetically, this looks terrible. I'm going to keep working on it. However, when it's done, and it's getting close, I've got pretty much everything that you could ever... Oh, let me move my face out of the way. Everything that you could ever really need out of a trade journal. It's all interactive. Everything, moves with one another. Win rate percentage, P&L gain. This is the overall account summary. Average loss, average percent gain, average percent loss. Your average risk to reward, average stop loss and pips, your average time duration that you're in a trade. It's got all of the, I'm still working on it, of course, but most of your graphics up here. And then you can just go through all the data. Days of the week, what days of the week are the most profitable for you? What session is the most profitable for you? What time of day is the most profitable for you? And then what setup are you taking that is the most profitable for you? And it's going to have all of this analytics. This is not really something that I'm going to be selling. I'm probably just going to give it away. Probably, more than likely. But I am definitely going to put it in with the mentorship group. You all, anybody who gets in with the mentorship group for the week, you'll absolutely be getting this. It'll be included, all right? So, I was really proud of this. I thought it was looking pretty good. I think that you all are going to really enjoy it. For those of you who don't want to pay $20 a month or whatever for a subscription service or whatever, this is going to do just fine. And I'm sure that there's some annotations or some kind of... This is all just testing stuff, of course. I'm sure there's some kind of spelling errors in here that I need to go fix. But, okay, so getting rid of that. I always try to do some kind of educational piece. And I think that today I'm going to focus a little bit on like end of day consolidation. What do I use the end of day consolidation for? What am I looking for within the day based off of that end of day consolidation? How do I even mark it off? Does it really matter? Also, I think I'm going to throw in the Asian range today. I think that's a cool tool. I use it here and there. I probably should use it a lot more, to be honest. Let me get this out of the way. I probably should use it a lot more because for those of you that don't know, the Asian range is essentially the opening range for the day. For all of you who love using the weekly templates out there, the Asian range is essentially just the opening range for the day. All right, so imagine the beginning of the day starts a range, they break out, they pull back, they continue. Push 1, push 2, push 3. In the day in consolidation after 3 levels will drop. This is a Steve Morrow, what do you call it? A beat the market maker sort of concept. He's the one that hooked me on to this Asian range theory. Now, he doesn't really talk about it being the opening range of anything, of the day or anything like that. That's something that I've kind of just, it's the first period within the trading day. That makes sense. All right, first opening range for the day. So a really cool piece. Now, there's lots of different things that can come out of the Asian range. For example, there's a few different templates. Failed breakout, one side of the range, they go to the other side of the range. But if you're watching this and you're trying to figure out what to do in your session, breakout, pull back, push 1, push 2, push 3, and then what time is that? 9:30, reversal, back down. All right, so same exact thing throughout the day. You're looking for 3 levels of rise and a failed breakout or a reversal after that third push. And you can go back and you can back test this. But a lot of times, maybe sometimes early in the day, there will be a failed breakout to one side and the trade will go to the other side of the range. It's pretty much the exact same rules as the opening range for the week, It's the same rules for if it was the opening range for the week, the month, the year. This is just for the day. It's pretty cool. So if you want to check this out, I think I have a video out on it. The thumbnail is like I am befuddled, and it's obviously not my face. But I do have a video out about the Asian range, and it's pretty cool. So if you want to go check that out, feel free. All right, so I need to get into today's analysis a bit. And as I go through and I talk about the end-of-day consolidation, I'll make sure to point out what the heck it is, what do I use it for, and of course, other things to go along with it. I've got all my pairs over here on the right. As always, I'll be going through all of them. If you notice, I've removed GJ. Today was the last straw. I'm done with that pair. All right. Every time I see it, it always is in some kind of weird accumulation phase. Anytime you all come into the stream, I always say it. It's always in some kind of weird accumulation phase. Today, it was a beautiful pattern. It was setting up perfectly, and then it immediately just went into an accumulation for New York. So I was like, I'm done with this pair. I just removed it. It just never performs in my session. Every time I try to even consider doing it, getting in with it, it kind of frustrates me a little bit. I look at it, it looks great, and then it just immediately, yeah, I feel it. I feel you, Bill. The Asian range the same as 8 to 11. The Asian range? No. Sorry, I should have specified this. The Asian range, 8 to 2 a.m. will create a high and a low. So this is basically the beginning of Asia, right up until London's about to begin, and then I just project that range across. Yeah, Joycelyn, I appreciate that. Thank you. You almost beat me to it. Barely made it here. Good to have you. A-Dub, what's up? How you doing? Good to have you back. Michael, hello. Bill, Key, White Sand. Good to have you all here. All right, for anybody who's maybe new tuning in, or maybe you're coming in afterwards to see this video, I always have to run through everything, right? I got to run through all the notes. Pips to profit indicator. My number one asked question, how do I get it? Just go down, click the link in the description to go to Discord. Once you get there, this is a free indicator. It's free to get into Discord. It's all free information. The indicator's free. All you have to do is just go to the indicator section, add it to your favorites, and then add it to your charts, and it'll be there. You'll have it forever. You can go through the settings. I'm going to do a video here soon purely on this indicator and how you can go through and work with all the settings. This thing is awesome. I love this indicator. I use it every single day. It's got literally everything that you need. And I'm not advertising it because I don't get anything from it. It is free. So if you all want it, it's there. It's in the pinned messages on Discord. Please go get it from there. Okay, finally, the thing that we're all here for is the analysis. All right, let's get into the things that have been going on today. Let's talk about what's going to potentially maybe happen tomorrow, my favorite day of the week. So, purple line, as always, previous month high and low. Green line, previous week high and previous week low. I have my previous day's high and low annotated up here in gray, and you can see my fancy little labels as well. I start off with a few things, and also I have actually one more announcement before I get into this, and I'm very sorry. I'm actually removing the 3-day cycle from my analysis from now on. And let me tell you why. I do have a good reason. The number one confusion that I have had with students in these past few months is there's too many day 3s, day 1, day 2, day 3 from things. The 3-day cycle is a fantastic tool. I will not say that is not true. However, it is the number one thing that I have found that confuses people. And although it is useful once you get really good with it, the weekly templates and signal days will get you a lot further than the 3-day cycle ever will. The understanding of trap volume will get you a lot further than the 3-day cycle ever will. The one thing that I will say is still important anytime you're watching the markets are failed breakouts. I will leave that in there forever until the time I stop trading, hopefully when I die. Failed breakouts are very important, and I'm talking about failed breakouts of weekly levels at the high of the week, the low of the week, above and below previous day's high and previous day's low. That is still very important. That will, a lot of times, be the start of a large move. If you're at the high of the week, the high of the month, blah, 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 there's a failed breakout. For example, right here, there's been a failed breakout. Those are very important. However, the 3-day cycle and trying to figure out what day is what, people focus in so much on the 3-day cycle that they miss, oh, look, a higher high in the Asian session. Time to go long. Weekly templates, all these other things that are very important. The 3-day cycle seems to distract people. So I'm going to remove it from my analysis. All right. I think that that will probably help people as an educator a lot more than keeping it in there does or ever will. So let's get into today's analysis. I'm sorry for rambling on for so long. It's been about 10 minutes into this video and I still haven't gone over the first pair. Let's get into oil. Let's get into oil. All right. Opening range, first thing on the list. First thing on the list. I'm going to get that up there. Opening range. Get that projected across. On oil, we have our first push out of the opening range right here. And then we have our second push out of the opening range on Wednesday. And it kind of looks like maybe a weak third on Thursday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put 1. And I'm going to put 2. And I'm going to put 3 question mark because although that is a third push, it's not very convincing. All right. Now, let's look at structure. We had a high. There was higher highs and higher lows. They broke down. They came all the way back down here. If I were to go onto a 1-hour chart, I have a strong feeling that is a major swing level up there. All right. We've got our low down here. 3 pushes, maybe, out of the opening range. Let's look at current structure. Obviously, current structure is still down. Where is volume trapped right now? Where could it be stuck? Maybe. I'm going to put this breakout level up here from Tuesday because that's the first and only level. As of right now, they have dumped it down on that day. Oh, no, actually. No, I'm going to use that one. Yeah. All right, we're at the low of the previous week. We're at the low of the previous week. And that's it. Okay. So, do we have a signal day? Do we have 3 days of shorts in the market right now? We've got 1 day of shorts on Monday, 2 days of shorts, 3 days of shorts, really 4 days. That's okay. All I need to know is there's at least 3. 3 days of breakouts. Okay, we have 3 days of breakouts on this pair. I can put this up here. I can go over here and I can analyze and just kind of stare at the structure for a second. We were making higher highs and higher lows. These are all minor swings. And then we broke down and we made a low, which means that this is my low. They pulled back in 2 candles. Now, what I can do is I can go and see where's the last place that they kind of had a high in the market. It was up here. I think that I'm just going to project my breakout level across like this. It's close, relatively the same area. That's good enough for me. All right. Failed breakout. Yep. First green day. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's true. There was a open. They traded down, and now they've closed. Pumps over here. I'm willing to say that. I'd be willing to say that. First green day. Which, 3 days of breakout, 3 push out of the open range, all that stuff. It's fine. I'm going to put this in first green day. I've got all these other annotations up here. I'm going to make sure I pull this down here so I can see both at the same time. Previous week's low, we're down low. That's good. We're also kind of up high at the same time. We've had this big failed breakout of this previous week's level up here at the high of the current month, which means that's week 1. Well, we're not doing any of that anymore. So we're just going to move on. All right. Tomorrow. So what does this mean? I've got my analysis. 3 push out of the opening range, maybe. Question mark. It could be, could not be. We don't know. We're still in a downtrend on the higher time frames. What does this mean for me? What am I looking to do? Well, tomorrow I've got my end of day consolidation. EODC. So if I want to go long, they're either going to come back down here and retest. I would accept that. That would be okay. They're going to come down and make a lower low. That would invalidate the trade setup altogether, and I would no longer want to trade this pair. Or they will break out immediately, pull back, and then continue. Those are the only 3 options that I'm looking for after a first green day. Okay? Come down, retest a trapped volume zone, and reverse, or maybe come back down, make a lower low, That would invalidate the setup altogether, or they'll break out, pull back out of this end of day consolidation and continue to go back up, maybe up to this high. Okay, maybe back up to this breakout level up here. A few different areas that it could go to. All right, is there any questions on oil? Happy Thursday to you too, John. Good to have you here. Buy low, Joycelyn. Yep. Does anybody have any questions on this pair before I move on? Okay, looking good. Ladies and gentlemen, 73 viewers in the stream, only 46 likes. That hurts my feelings. Please do me a favor. Takes 2 seconds. Just throw your little mouse over there, click the button real quick, and I'm going to get back into it. It helps me significantly. It helps the stream more than you realize probably. Whenever you all start clicking that button, it does push it out to more people's eyeballs, and they may or may not click on my funny little thumbnail that I've kind of created. So, let's move on to the Nasdaq. Let's see. We have been dumping on this pair. We had a failed breakout up top. Out of Tuesday's, or out of Monday's range, out of the opening range. So if I project this across here like this. Did not put my opening range. No big deal. Throw it out there like that. Now, we've only had 2 pushes down on this pair. That's okay. That is okay. Remember, there's other variations of reversals. Not necessarily that we will get a reversal 110% tomorrow. That is not what I'm saying. However, we have gone through the previous week's low. We have gone through... Is that the previous month? Yeah, we're down through the previous month's low as well. Things are in dump city mode right now. All right, so we have push down 1 out of right there. So I can mark that off. Boom. And this would be the second push. So we've only got 2 pushes down right now. Now, I'm going to go down over here. I'm going to mark the fact that we had a low, we had a high, we made a lower low. So this is going to be my swing high for tomorrow. And I'm trying to use more hotkeys, but it probably doesn't even matter. All right. That's my high. That's my low. Do I have a thesis about this pair for tomorrow? We've only got 2 pushes down. We've capitulated down through breakout levels. We've capitulated down through previous month's low. Where is the money? Well, it's up here. However, that does not mean that we cannot just keep going down tomorrow. That's a huge possibility. But we do have 1 day of breakouts, 2 days of breakouts in the market. No signal day as of right now. And I think I kind of got to go for... That's kind of weird that all 3 of these are stacked up on one another. Whatever, though. Which indicator do you use to identify previous day's low and previous day's high? This is the pips to profit indicator. Over here. Like I said, you can get it from Discord. It's free. Or if you don't want to do that, you just want to use whatever one's on TradingView, you can just use previous day's high, previous day's low, high, previous, just type in previous, month, week, day, and you can figure and find. Okay, so I don't have any signal days on this. We've just been trading straight down. I'm removing that. We're not going to look at that anymore. No big deal. But I do need to categorize this pair somehow, some way. And I don't see one right now. So this might just turn into a pump and dump or dump and pump scenario. What is going on? Okay, so we had an inside... No, this was not inside. Okay, that's all I can really say on this. I've searched high and low. I've actually been staring at it for probably too long. Some videos in your playlist have been taken down. Can they be returned back? Jacob, I removed a lot of videos from certain areas of my channel because... Not because I'm trying to hide information. It's actually quite the opposite. I'm actually trying to make it easier for you all to sift through. If I've got 700 videos on my channel and 60 of them are about the same topic, the video that's most up to date and has the most information, those are the videos that I kept up there for you. All right, and I just removed the ones that were a little bit older and the videos looked like they were made in the 1990s. All right. All the ones that are still, they're up to date and they have really great relevant information, I kept those up there for you. Isn't that 3 pushes down from failed breakout high? Failed breakout high, push down 1, push down 2, push down 3. Yeah, I could see that. Bean. It's possible. It is possible. Now, they've came through the previous week's low and a couple different pushes here, but yeah, almost a 300 pip box. That's actually a good idea. I'm going to make sure that I put that up there. From the high of the week down is definitely more than 300 pips. We're exceeding the 500 mark at this point. There's 600. So I'll just leave that up there on my screen. All right, S&P 500. Did we do the same thing today? We sure did. Beautiful. Goodness gracious. I really should have held on to some of my trades. Or my trade in general. No worries, though. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's my favorite day of the week. It is Friday. And not because it's the weekend, but because Friday, in my opinion, is just the best trading day of the week. All right, I'm going to throw up my opening range up here. We've had 1 push down Tuesday, 2 pushes down on Wednesday, and now 3 pushes down on this Thursday. This is also 3 pushes out of the opening or the previous week's low. Push 1, push 2, push 3. So if I'm looking at different indexes, which I don't honestly usually do, usually I will just stick to Nasdaq, but if they're going to play games over on Nasdaq and they're playing fair over here on the S&P, I might venture over tomorrow, depending on, if it still looks the same tomorrow. So 3 pushes down out of the opening range, leading us into Friday. We're at the low of the month, low of the previous month as well. Obviously, that breakout level is going to be very important. On Fridays, if you're noticing that I'm just really searching for the 3 pushes out of the opening range, that is because that's what I'm looking for, really, on Fridays. All right, so we've got 3 pushes down. We've got a 1, 2, 3. So 3 days of breakouts on this pair. So I could put that where it belongs, right there. And I like the fact they have dumped down pretty aggressive to end this day on a Thursday. I like when I see that. That's good. That gets people shorting on the last leg of a move. If this is the last leg of the move, I have no clue. Now, let me zoom in. I don't really see much structure to go off of, and I don't usually do this, but we have a low, a high, a lower low. So whenever I don't really have any sort of reference whatsoever on what to go off of, I'm going to throw this up there. And I'm going to go back to the 15 because that's where I belong. And I'm going to go to EODC like this. Again, what do I use end of day consolidation for? I use it to frame the next day. I'm not going to be here for the next until from when I sleep until when I wake up. I come back and I see what have they done in relation to this end of day consolidation. Are they just going sideways? Have they broke out and pulled back? Those are the type of things that I'm looking for. Low, high, lower, low. This is my major swing high all the way up here, so I can mark that off. If we do get a reversal from down here, I'm going to be looking for it to come up to places like there, bottom of the range. Those are the areas that I would want to see them get to. Awesome. Does anybody have any questions about this pair right here? No retest of previous week's low. Not really a clean break through that one. They've definitely been retesting that one. Now, the previous month, on the other hand, they have not really tested that one. I should have held on to, yeah. Same chart, yep, almost 300 pip box. Good. If there's not any questions in the next 20 or so seconds, I'm going to move on. Get me a sip of this spicy water. Except this water is extra spicy tonight. Do you strictly trade indices only after 9:30? Hey, so in the constant pursuit of excellence, right? I'm still pretty early on in my trading career. Although I have been trading full-time now for going on 1 year. No, it hasn't been that long. I started full-time back in October of last year. And really started getting more serious full-time November, December timeframe. So I'm constantly trying to improve. I don't change a whole lot of things, but I do make small adjustments. One of the things that I've stopped doing within the past month or so is I have stopped trading on all pairs before 9 a.m. Eastern time. I let that first hour play out, and then I trade the second hour. Stacey's been saying it for like the entire time he's ever been making videos to not necessarily not trade the first hour, but he focuses mainly on the second hour. And then here I am taking trades in the first hour. And those, for my data and from my analytics, the first hour has always been my worst. I always take a losing trade in the first hour and take a winning trade in the second or the third. So why not cut out 50% of my losses and hopefully just replace them with more wins? I'm going to trade only the second hour. And so far, that has been doing wonders. For anybody who's struggling with timing trades and things like that. Not saying 9:01 time to take a trade, but it keeps you very, very patient and understanding that first hour a lot of times is a trap. All right. So to answer your question, Misadventure, I'm taking trades not necessarily after 9:30, but around 9:30. In that second hour is usually when I'm, and that's on all pairs. I don't care what pair it is. All right. Moving on, US 30. Let's take a look. It's looking very similar. I have a very similar sight picture to S&P. However, S&P hit the previous month's low, whereas the US 30, the previous month's low is way down yonder. Okay, so I'm going to mark off my previous little stuff here. Not previous, my opening range. Got that up there. We've got push 1, push 2, push 3. So I'm not even going to bother annotating that. I'm just going to put 3 push OR. For all of you that don't know, that is 3 pushes out of the opening range. We do have 3 days. Breakouts. Let's take a look. Okay, so they broke out. They have retested that level. That's whatever. All right. I don't have any breakout levels that I can see that are untested. Boy, that is a big rectangle before they broke down. Okay. So, here's the thing. Tomorrow, right? 3 pushed out of the opening range. Everybody's going to be everybody. Me, in particular, I'm going to be expecting a reversal. However, that's what I'll be looking for. Of course, there are still things that I need to see. I need to see some kind of sight picture when I come to the screen tomorrow that lets me know, hey, this is actually going back up. Or else, we might be in a huge range expansion on a much higher time frame that we're not seeing because we're down on the 15. It could always just keep going. Yes, there are 3 pushed out of the opening range. Yes, we have traveled an immense amount from the high. Almost 1,000 pips. But it could still keep going. The market will do whatever it feels like. All right. These are just small little indications. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark off my most relevant areas. That looks like one. And where's my dang trend line thing? There it is. And this one up here. All right. That's my box. That's a pretty big box to deal with. If I had to draw a smaller box within this box, which I'm definitely going to need for tomorrow, it's going to look something like that. All right. EODC, end of day consolidation. I don't use this line for structure. I'm not saying this is a structure break, but it is used. You'll see. I said that really arrogantly. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. When I say you'll see, I mean like they will react off of that area. It's an area that will act as support and resistance. Okay. Would anything invalidate looking for a reversal? Yes, if they keep making lower lows and lower highs. And I say that jokingly, but also kind of serious. I say it very seriously. If they keep making lower lows and lower highs, and I come into my session and they're still making lower lows and lower highs, it really depends on the signature. All right. If I'm down on the lower time frame, lower than 15, and they've came all the way down here like this, and there's a huge amount of space to go from that high up here, and they've been in a rectangle for quite some time, and then the 1 minute chart breaks up just before the session begins or something like that, could maybe get something back up like that. So, oh, nope, we're going to skip those ads. Yeah, good luck. There we go. So it's hard to tell from right now until then what's going to happen. But if there's a certain signature coming into the session, then yeah. Okay. Got to remember 1,000 pips on. Hold on, I need to move. I can't see what you said because they keep putting this heart thing in the way. Got to remember 1,000 pips on 34 kick. That's $1,000. I think that's still. It's definitely not 100 pips. I think that's pretty sure that's 1,000. I could be losing my mind. Yeah. Yeah, go sideways into. Could you talk about? Oh man, I wish I could move this thing. I tell you what. Could you talk about risk at the end of the stream? I could talk about it anytime. Sure. I'll throw that in there at the end for sure. Okay, moving on. US 30, end of day consolidation, 3 pushes out. No signal day other than those 3 days of breakouts. Nasdaq is the odd one out that I like less. It still exists. It's still there, but I think that US 30 and S&P are looking a little bit better. Okay, US dollar CAD. They finally, I said this last stream, I'm glad they finally have gone to the outside. I can start looking for things again. I can start feeling like I'm no longer contained in a box. So let's remove all that nonsense and look at what they have done today. High, they've closed above the high. There was no failed breakout at all. Structure-wise, oh man, they're just still... Okay, let's take a look. There's this. We get this thrown up there. Opening range. Cool. Push 1. Push 2 on Wednesday. A very slight push 3 today. So I'm going to do 3 question mark because they did not break out and close above on that third push. Now, if they do break out tomorrow and close above for that third push, I can still look for a reversal. All right. They've made a higher high over here. I think I'm going to mark this off like this. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. I couldn't hold that one back. There's no way. All right, so I've got my high. They went higher. My low's down here. This is my box. I'm going to mark off. This is my end of day consolidation. We've got this wick down here, and we've got this high up here is my little box that I've got. If it just goes sideways, I saw this question. If it just goes sideways in the end of day consolidation, that means that I don't know if there's news tomorrow or what, but they could be containing price there for a little while. Seed, good stuff. All right. I don't really see anything else on this. 3 pushed out of the opening range. Oh, push 1, push 2, push 3. We do have 3 days of breakouts. Three days, previous day's high in the market. So I can at least categorize this pair, get it up there. How is it moving? We've moved up through the previous week's high. We've already retested down low. So this breakout level is not unmessed with. It has been touched. So I can't mark that off. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Moving on. US dollar, Japanese yen. Man, the market just moves so efficiently. It never ceases to amaze me. And when you start noticing just how efficient that it moves, and you start thinking about psychology of where people are getting into the markets and whatnot. For example, this high right here. Everyone says it's support and resistance or whatever. Sure, whatever you want to call it. People traded that breakout. They kept going. People put their stops at break even hoping this would continue, and they still came back and got those people. They got them twice. If they went to break even too early, they got them. They kept going. They felt safe. They went to break even. They came back and got them again. I just think that the more I look at the candlesticks and the longer I've been doing this, I just think it's really kind of cool to look at the behavior and think about what people are thinking when certain things are happening. For example, like that candle. Man, that is a strong candle. All the books say to go long. And then it went down. Weird, right? So those are the kind of behavioral things that I like to look at and I think are very, very interesting. All right. So we do have Monday, push 1, push 2, and 3. We do have 3 days of breakouts on this pair. Do we have 3 pushes out of the opening range? We have push 1, push 2, and a weak third. Okay. Now, looking at structure, we had a high, a low, a higher high. They broke down, made a lower low. They've been going down, low, high, lower low, and then traded back up to that high. So this is still technically the high right here. And then that low that's down here is the low. They're containing inside of this box. This is my end of day consolidation, something like that. I do think it's strange that they put this box. There's this space right here where they've not came back for the money. And I'm not saying they're going to tomorrow. I don't even think that I really care for... Well, no, because they have came out of the previous month's high right here. Push 1, 2, and 3. So I'm actually going to label that as well to remind myself. Because I do like that. I do like the fact that they've ran it up pretty high. And we'll see what happens next. All right, I'm going to put this into 3 days of breakouts. I think I'll put it right there. Do you have indicator for C Trader app? No, I do not. First red day. This is why I just love doing these streams. Y'all are crushing it. 110%. This is a first red day. They broke out, breakout failed. They've traded down below the opening price and closed. Where did this pump begin? Where did this pump begin? I'm going to have to say probably right there. Push 1, 2, and 3. I can kind of clearly see, if I were to blow this up, notice how this market was moving. Now that you said that, and just everything became very much more clear to me. Drive 1. Drive 2. Drive 3. This is where the pump began. First red day. Beautifully done. Whoever said that, good stuff. All right, first red day. Like that. Like that a lot. I like that a lot more. Cameron, good to have you here. We share the same name, so. Small pump and dump at the end there, yeah? Yeah, you can even see it here. Push 1, push 2, push 3, pump and dump. Came right back down to where the pump began. DXY. Yep, towards the end of the stream, I'm going to do it. Sneaky JPY, gap time dump. Yeah, things have been moving in the gap time, which can be frustrating, but quick question. Do you still teach the day count within the mentorship? Are you talking about the 3-day cycle? Caslow. Are you talking about the 3-day cycle? No. I brush over it. I talk about it, but then I move on. I try to focus, especially since people only have 1 week with me, unless they've booked multiple weeks, which a lot of people do. I try to focus on the things that I know will be effective for people and they can learn quickly. Whereas the 3-day cycle seems to be very confusing. The way that I focus in life balance, I've got 3 pairs every single day without fail. Index, usually I use Nasdaq. Oil, gold. I pretty much find a setup every single day on one of those 3. They move, and if you can get in at the right time of day, they're very time specific, especially gold and Nasdaq really. Oil really likes the 3rd hour, but still moves around that 9:30 time frame. Then from there, what I'll do is I'll take one of these currency pairs, one of the ones that are up on the screen, and if it's good, I'll use it. If there's too many, I'll just stick with the 3, gold, oil, Nasdaq. I would rather just stick to those 3 and not put myself into a stressful mood than be clicking. I don't know if you've ever done this before where you're just trying to figure it out and you're just sitting here doing this. What's going to happen next? And you're like trying to figure out which pair is moving. And then you end up missing every trade. So whenever I start to feel like that, I go back. I call them old reliable, right? It's a joke. But the 3 that I always use, gold, oil, Nasdaq, I'll just put those up on my screen and try and figure out what's going on with those. All right, looking at pound to US dollar. Okay, we had a failed breakout on Monday. That created the opening range. That was a pretty wide range day. That was also at the low of the month. What did I just do that for? There we go. opening range, something like that. We had push 1 on Tuesday, push 2 on Wednesday, push 3. What I think is very strange on this pair, it's very interesting, all right? Notice how every single day has been a failed breakout at the high of the week. Every single day. They broke out, it failed. They broke out, it failed. They broke out, it failed. So we do have 3 days of breakouts in the market. But I just saw this. I said just, but it happened not too long ago on gold. It presented this exact same way. Now, this could go vertical and just go straight up. Sure. That's one scenario for sure. We have a high. Boom. Came down, went back up. So these are my major swings right here. Now, with on the inside of that, my minor swings, my end of day consolidation, low, high, lower, low. That's my low. Last place they made a high was up here, that breakout level. So I'm going to mark that off. 3 days previous day's high, opened, closed. They didn't spike both sides of the range. They didn't break down. That was a low, that was a high. It's just still in an uptrend. Okay. Three pushed out of the opening range as well. Now we do have the previous week's high up here as well. Something's going on with this. Not really sure what, but this same pattern has happened before, and I've seen it, where they just keep on poking their head up and then failing. I have to go back on gold and figure out what it did last time. Not that that's what's going to indicate what's going to happen tomorrow by any means, but the same patterns do, kind of repeat themselves, and I've definitely seen this weekly template before. So I'd be curious to see if it plays out the same way. I'm going to put this into 3 days of breakouts. I'm going to probably move on. That's all I really need. I've got my signal day. I've got my structure marked off. Yeah, that's really all I need. And I've got my levels. Really like this group. See how focused everyone is. Amazing. Click that like. Bill, I appreciate you. All of you in here that come in here to my streams every single day that I do one and are like helping me get people to like the stream. That means a lot to me. What is your accuracy monthly, and how many trades do you take per week? I usually take 1 or 2 trades a day, and my accuracy is, the last time I checked, between 60 and 70%. I've done that. How do you finally filter the basket? All right, got all those questions answered. Good stuff. All right, moving on. Euro JPY. Boy, what's some noise on this pair. Usually this pair trades very nicely. And it looks like maybe it's starting to be nice again. Okay, so we came down. I had this labeled for some reason today. Oh, inside day. They hit the stops up top, and they came down and they got them down low. And I've still got this label down here for a reason. Because this is a level that they have not tapped into just yet. In fact, they've just been hovering. They've been hovering price above it. And now we've came and we've pumped off the low, something like this. This is going to be my end of day consolidation. I'm going to mark off that breakout level as my other side of the range. Inside day, we've came down, we've got the stops. We're just in a high-low rectangle right now. I like this though. It's looking nice. It's looking like it's been up here doing its thing for, what is this, like a whole week now? It's pretty much, it broke out last week and has just been sitting up here. We have multiple failed attempts to go higher. And the previous week's low is all the way down there. I'd be curious to see what this one looks like tomorrow when I come to the screen. Okay, as far as first red day, first green day though, I can't count this as a first red day. There's really no pump. I guess this is a pump right here. Monday, push 1. Hard time liquidity zones, you're pointing out. Yeah. Now it's time trading at the bottom of the range. Yeah. Chuck, if it is a trading range and they come down here to the extremes, like for example, if I come to the screen and they're at 930 at the extreme down here, it might be an indication not to go short. Now, if they pump it up and they just hold it up here all day long, which is possible, if they just hold it up here all day long like this, yep, I would like that. I could deal with that. I just said probably not a first red day, just based off of there's been no pump, and we've closed pretty much down at the bottom. Yep, need a pump before first red day. Awesome. I'm going to put this up into, I don't know, pump and dump. That looks like a good place. Right, pump, maybe a dump. We've pumped up, maybe we're dumping back down. Maybe pumped up and we're dumping back down. Maybe. Wait, I need to zoom out a bit. What is going on with this? Are we at the high of the year? Is that what's going on? Yeah. Where did the year begin? Alrighty then. November 22, January 23. What was the opening range for the year? It was right there. Okay, so this was the first push, second push. Oh, this is 3 pushes out of the opening range for the year. This is 3 pushes out of the opening range for the whole year. All right, so we've got January down here, and I know this is way zoomed out. This is really big compared to what I'm used to looking at as far as for looking for setups. But I like to be, sometimes I like to chart it. I like to just see kind of what's going on. Oh, there's January 21st. All right, so this was the first push out of the opening range for the year. And then they had the second, and now the third. And we're at the high of the year above previous month's high, consolidating. We actually had an M engulfment yesterday, or 2 days ago. Up, down, up, engulf. That's looking decent. I like to see that. We're in the third level. They've gone up above previous month's high. Consolidated, broke down. Where are they going? I don't usually go up to the higher time frames unless I feel like I'm seeing something that's based off a higher time frame. This is something that I definitely kind of like. I'm going to mark that. And I'm going to... We're in level 3 entire year. All right. Cool. Euro USD. EJ hasn't been this high since 2008. A lot of pair JPY. Yeah. How about Euro USD? We're about to get there. Asking, I'm aware of this isn't financial advice. If you had a 25K account with 8% target, I'll answer that here in a bit, Jamal. I'm about to talk about risk here in a few minutes, but I want to make sure that I get through all the pairs. I've been talking now for about 48 minutes, which means I've actually got through this pretty quick, and I don't mean to. So I had my inside bar trader stops labeled today. 3 days of breakouts. Down or up? I don't even know. I think it was down, right? Yeah, so we had an inside bar breakout. Ooh, this looks good. I can see why you all caps me with the Euro USD. All right, so we had this low. And they started going back up, which means that this was a major swing low. Which really makes this the major swing high. I'm going to mark this one. This is 3 levels of rise, 3 sessions of rise. Now we broke down again. But they've spiked up. They've spiked back down. And pulled back inside. They did make this lower low. Yeah, this definitely has my attention. Let's see. What did they do opening range-wise? Wow, that was a wide range opening range. That was a wide range day. And they've came down here and they broke out. Yeah, that's interesting. How many pips are we down from the high? Okay, 100 pips. I don't know what the AWR for Euro is, but I can't imagine it's too much. About 75. I'm going to mark the structure break off right here. I'm going to move this pink cloud out of the way too, because that's going to be annoying. Okay, so we had a break to the upside. Now we broke back down. We hit the low again. So now looking at minor stuff, I've got this high or that low right there, this high up here. End of day consolidation, I'm going to go low, high, lower, low. This is my high right here. Mark that off. Looking good. That's really all I can do, to be honest. I don't really see any signal day. 3 days breakouts. Yep, 3 days breakouts. So I can do that. Okay, so we do have 3 days breakouts. Good enough for me. I'm going to throw this up there. That'll give me enough thesis. All I need, really, signal day, structure, and what day we are in the week. That's really all you need. We are close to previous month. Yeah, we're going to mark that off. My little vertical line just means that there's space there for them to kind of go through. Failed breakout, false break reversal sounds plausible. Yep. All caps. Okay, we're about to do gold. 3 days breakouts. Hopefully I didn't do it wrong. Hold on. No, it's right there. There's previous day's low, breakout day 1, breakout day 2, breakout day 3. Previous day's low, and previous day's low. Did I remove that? I did. That was an inside day. We still have inside bar trader stops up here. All right. Where this inside bar, they've triggered the low of that inside bar, but they never went back and got the guy. All right. This guy's still in profit. He's jumping up and down. He's throwing his monopoly money all over the place. He's looking at which car he's going to buy. Hopefully he's taking some profit. We don't know. Okay, let's go look at gold. Nice. Push 1. Yep, push 1, 2, and 3. This is definitely my biggest candidate right now. Oh yeah, the way it's built right now, I feel good about it. I think this is probably going to be my number one candidate. As of right now, if I come to the screen tomorrow, I have no idea. But we have push 1 right here. I'm going to make sure I annotate this for myself and for the world. Push 1, push 2, and push 3. We had low, high, lower, low. That's my high. This is my low. Within my minor structure, I had a low, high, lower, low. That is going to put me right here, which is also a breakout level, which is good. Definitely need to see that. That's fine. I'm going to do it just like this. Put this EODC end of day consolidation. 3 pushes down out of opening range. 3 days of breakouts. Not a first green day today. I would have liked to see that. That would have been cool. Why did I just put that? Okay, 3 days, previous day's low in the market. Ladies and gentlemen, 99 people in the stream, only 83 likes. I thought almost for sure that we might actually break the record today. Hit that 200 and give those lucky 3 a couple weeks of mentorship for free, but I don't think that today is going to be the day. We were pretty close on Tuesday. I agree, Ado. We were pretty close last time. We're going to get there, though. Channel slowly climbing. It might be because we started 1 hour late, but, I think that at least a few people in here right now are probably people that normally couldn't make it to the stream because of the time that I start. So I wanted to start it at a little bit different time. Start a little bit later for my other time frame folks. Appreciate it, Marvin. The mustache is coming in good. It's looking fairly clean, I think. Chuck, I appreciate it as well. All right, gold, I'm going to throw this up into the 3 days, previous days breakouts. And somebody had asked me about midnight in UK now. Goodness gracious. All right, someone asked me about risk management. I'm going to show you all not only my risk management, but also how I scale into trades. So, for example, and I don't do it the same exact way every single time. This is probably the most discretionary piece of my trading. I basically what setup am I taking? I'll base the size off of that. However, I'm going to use a basic model. All right, let's say that I get in down here with 10 lots. All right, I put my stop in place, and let's just say that from here to here, I never get in at full risk on that first trade, all right, or that first entry. This is maybe 1%. Now, market comes up, and I'm like, okay, it's doing what I want. It's looking good. I'm going to add more. I'm going to only add half of my first position size in most cases, all right? And let me tell you why. I'm still going to take that stop, and I'm still going to put it in the exact same place down here. Now, once I do this, I've got 5 here, 10 here. The average of that is going to put my average entry, if this was 10 and 10, it would have been here. So now I'm only doing 5 and 10. It should put my average around there, all right, in that general area. That's important to me because now I'm at full size. I'll say quote unquote full size. If they go up any further and I still want to add in a bit more, I'm going to reduce by half of that position as well. Now, let's just say that now I'm at full size. Or maybe I'm over-risking a bit. So what I'll do is I'll take that position and I'll just put it at break even. Okay? Now, they come up. I'm in profit. I'm feeling good. It's looking good. If I have not taken any profit off, which I do a lot of times, admittedly, and they start to pull back and they go sideways, it doesn't have to be in 3 pushes. It doesn't even have to be, like this at all. But they start to pull back. And then maybe I get an engulfment to continue the move. Now, if I add in any more, I will be over-risking significantly. So if I do add in right here, I've got 10, 5, and 2.5. So that's about 17.5 lots down low. My average is probably, I had to do these calculations up here, so it probably has moved up here. Now, if I'm going to add in any more, I am not allowed to not be at break even. I have to be risk-free. So what I'll do is I will move my stops to break even. That is my average price for entry, so now I am at break even technically on all positions. When I add in, I'm going to still either have or slightly reduce the size that I get in. I've got a decent amount of weight down low, but what I'll do is I'll add in maybe 1 lot as it continues to confirm. Where's my dang thing? As it continues to confirm. Oh boy, I've got squigglies all over the place. Once that goes and it brings my average up a little bit, I automatically will put my stops break even again. If I add in again, I'll reduce by half again. Basically, I just keep reducing by half. The reason I do that is because I don't want them to bring my average up so high that I just get stopped out with all this size on for no reason. If I were to add 10 more lots up here and it brings my average up here, they just come back down and stop me out. Well, I just did a whole bunch of work for no reason. Now, at this point, if it keeps going, and I'm leveraged in probably quite significantly at this point, if it continues, I have the opportunity to take profits fairly quickly. I'm up in profit on all of this. Now I'm up in profit on all of this as well. If it goes up 10, 15 pips on these positions, I'm probably up 50 plus on these. Yeah, I'm going to close. I don't care. It goes 500 pips, fantastic. I close, I take my profit, and I end the day. My face is in the way. Hot dang. There we go. Gold today, bullish structure, coming in New York. What triggered you into short instead? Yo, P, thank you for coming in here and asking me that because I almost forgot. So this is the basic structure. This is how I leverage in way more than I should be because it's risk-free. I'm at break even. I'm adding in size up here at risk. I'm break even. So I'm adding in size without actually adding in any risk. All right. And then it goes up. And that's how you all see me with some crazy percent gain. It's not because I'm like, I'm going to put in 300 lots down here and I hope that it goes up. No, I'm doing it relatively safely. Okay. All of this for 100 pips or more. Yeah. Well, sometimes for 50 or, 60 or so. Still fine. Okay, so gold. Why did I go short today? Let's take a look at the 1 minute chart. All right. 3 push patterns. Time of day, price, levels, blah, 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 right? We had this high they put in place in the first hour. Then they smacked it in the second hour. They smacked it a second time. They smacked it a third time. Then they broke down. When they broke down, it was after 9:30. I hopped in. It went down. It started to mess around. My idea was with these big candles like this, it should just go straight down. When it did not continue to go straight down and it started to go sideways, I closed the trade. Right in there. It spiked up and went straight up. And then as it was coming back down, I saw what they had just done. This was the 9:30 time right here. They retested it one last time, stop hunting people that got it right. Me. I was almost a part of the liquidity pool. And I hopped back in over here. It came back down and then began this two-sided trading, and I just got out. Okay. Ad came through. Well, I'm sorry for that. I missed it. King Samuel, good stuff. Soul, nice. Could you put the video in the left corner? Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me put this up here. Right. Your face is in the way. Yeah, I'm sorry about the image, guys. That was my bad. My bad. Nice head and shoulders. Yep. This is fantastic. Also the fact that push 1, push 2, push 3, it looked pretty good. And we were at this little breakout level over here that had not been retested. They broke out. They came back. They got them. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, does anybody have any other questions for me as of right now? I've been talking for 1 hour and 2 minutes on the dot. Be curious to see what broker allows. Okay. Ask me that in private, please. I don't like advertising for brokers at all. Makes me nervous. The way you do risk makes great sense. Thank you for sharing. My pleasure, Bill. And that was really just scaling in and pyramiding in. That wasn't even risk management. I don't really want to publicly tell you all risk management stuff because I don't know where each individual person is in their trading careers, right? And I could sit here and say, well, I'm willing to risk 5% on a trade. And then next thing you know, anybody goes out there and starts risking 5% on a trade and they wound up, 20% down in their account. Where if I'm willing to risk 5% on a trade, it's because it's set up a certain way and I have a certain level of certainty or a certain level of belief that I'm correct, and I'm still scaling in a certain way that is safe. I'm scaling in a certain way that if they were to jump a candle back up, I can start closing before I hit 5% loss. I don't want to just tell people, hey, this is how I do my risk management. If it's me, when I was first starting out, I was newer to the strategy. I didn't really understand the setups. I wasn't good with the setups yet. You want to risk as little as possible. Micro lots, 0.01, 0.25%, less than 0.25%. Just get really, really good, and then just go up from there. All right. Not advice. That is simply just for education, obviously. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not seeing... Wait, I like your... Yeah, thank you. Good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close out the stream here. You all have been fantastic. Thank you so much for your participations and for showing up every single week. There will be a video this Saturday, 6:45 a.m. It will be coming out. It's all about market traps and 3 pushes. All right, all the different variations of 3 pushes and some of the different methods, the different ways that the market tends to trap people. I'm really excited about this video. It's something that people have been asking me about for months, and I've never really got around to making a video about it. Y'all are great. I'll see you next Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will also see you if you're in Discord tomorrow trading. Y'all have a wonderful night. Enjoy your day. Tomorrow,